Hello everybody, and today I'm going to be doing a reading vlog for a author that I've never read anything for before. This is my first time reading their book. They come under two different names. But today I'm going to be reading my first ever Victoria SHWABB book, SHWABB. If you realise that I've used her full name, you'll know that it's one of her middle grade books. I don't know if she has any other middle grade books other than this at the moment, but I'm pretty sure she uses her full name for the middle grade books and then V. SHWABB for her older adult books. But of course I'm going to be starting City of Ghosts. I want to do a reading vlog for the weekend because I've been, it's currently March and it's the end of it now. So I want to start a bit early because hopefully that will give me some time to finish this so that I can include it to edit my video on Sunday evening so that I can get it up for the following day, the 1st I believe it is. But also Sunday is Mother's Day and I have a feeling I'm not going to be able to read too much. And yeah, so I thought I'd be a bit cheatery and start early. Is it really a weekend vlog then? I mean, I don't really know. But yeah, hopefully I don't confuse myself too much because as I just mentioned, I've got a month-long reading vlog wrap-up style that I'm in the middle of still finishing, so hopefully once I finish this I can jump back to that vlog and let everyone know that I read that as well. I don't really know, I'm confusing myself, you guys don't need to know this. But yeah, I'm really excited to finally try one of her books. I don't think I'll read too much today, so this is my head start day, but I've literally just finished a book beforehand and it's getting late now and I can't concentrate when it's too late, but I want to give myself enough leeway so that I feel like I can make some good progress for the rest of the actual weekend. But yeah, again, I've been wanting to read a book from her for a while. To be honest, when she came out with the vicious and vengeful books, I wasn't that interested because I much prefer superhero-esque stories in form of film, like Marvel films. I never really read that much about superheroes, which is the strangest thing because I love them. I love superhero stuff. So I don't know, maybe I was nervous to see how it would be written in a style that I'm not used to. Again, I'm used to Marvel, DC sort of thing, so I mean, I don't know, and I know these aren't any superheroes or villains to do with that, but over the last couple of years people have been talking about her a lot. She sounds quite hyped. The Gathering of Shadows, those books, they don't interest me as much as the vicious ones or whatever, so I thought let me just start with something that will ease me into her writing style. I know it's going to be a little bit different because it is for middle grade, it's for a younger audience. City of Ghosts was the book that really interested me out of all of the stories that she's written so far, so yeah, why not just give it a go. I really hope I enjoy it. Yeah, I will read a couple of pages tonight and then hopefully the bulk of my progress will begin tomorrow at some point. I'm sure I'll clock in soon and let you guys know how I am doing and how I'm finding the book. It's going to be spoilery, most likely. If you want me to do another vlog like this where I'm reading one book alone and not do spoilers, let me know. But I'm going to be doing it how I sort of do my Harry Potter first time vlogs and include spoilers and like probably a review or something at the end, I'm not too sure. Hello all, so it is the official start of my reading weekend, reading City of Ghosts by Victoria SHWABB. I've read, well last night I got to page 14. I am now, I think I've just finished chapter 3. I'm on page 30 and so far I'm enjoying it. I mean, it's not a lot of progress, so I mean I've still got time to get into it a bit more, but we've just had the background to how Cassidy can see ghosts, and I just realised I didn't actually give a synopsis, so let me quickly read the back. They're here, they're watching. Cass can pull back the veil that separates the living from the dead. When Cass's parents start hosting a TV show about the world's most haunted places, the family heads off to Edinburgh. Here, graveyards, castles and secret passageways teem with restless phantoms. But when Cass meets a girl who shares her gifts, she realises how much she still has to learn about the vow and herself, and she'll have to learn fast. The City of Ghosts is more dangerous than she ever imagined. So yeah, I hope it's really entertaining. I hope there's sort of almost a coming of age, I don't know. I think she's pretty young, maybe, I don't know how old she is, I can't remember if it said or not, but it'd be nice to see a coming of age in some aspect, maybe probably merge with the fact that she can see ghosts. I mean, it's been a year, but when she meets this girl when she moves to Edinburgh, maybe that will awaken something new. I'm looking forward to it, but so far it is a slower pace. So yeah, I do have a couple of hours before I need to get ready for the day, which is nice. I thought I'd take it easy before I do like my errands and everything. So instead of getting ready early and doing my makeup and everything, I thought I'd just read for an hour or so and then start getting ready. But yeah, I will catch you in another clip soon. Alright, so I've just finished part 1 of City of Ghosts, which was entitled The Inspectors. So within each part there's just, you know, basic chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. So each part has the sort of chapter overall heading, I guess you could say. And yeah, I feel like I've got a bit more of a gauge on this now. Is that the right word? I can say that I definitely am enjoying it. It's still kind of slow starting, but I feel like things will pick up when we get into like the show in Edinburgh and stuff. I feel like that's where a lot of the plot's going to instantly pick up, I hope. But so far, yeah, I really like our main character Cassie. I really like Jacob, is that his name? He's quite fun as well. I want to know more about the parents, because I feel like the whole story idea of them sort of doing a historical look at past events and that with the dad, and then the mum sort of spins on the legends and the ghost stories. I feel like that's such a cool concept, and now to have that as a show would be really fascinating. So I would like to see more of their input, but I feel like we're definitely not gonna see much in terms of the lives of the parents. We're gonna obviously be seeing it through Cassie's eyes and that, because she is our main character. But I don't know, I would like to know more about that, if that makes sense. But yeah, so far really good. It's not the best thing I've ever read so far. Like the writing's easy to get through. I don't feel like I'm struggling. Obviously it's an easier reading pace because it's for a younger audience, I'd imagine, but it's not entirely gripping me just yet, but I do like it. So I thought I'd quickly mention that I really like how we've got Cass sort of mentally narrating to us, but at the same time Jacob can read her mind, so he's like directly responding to her. It's a little bit trippy, but somehow it really works. So I like that sort of back and forth in of her telling us her story, but Jacob chiming in because he can read her mind. Pretty cool. Okay, so I'm sort of slouching because I can't be asked to get my tripod out, but I really wanted to do the Booktube, I think it's called the Booktube Real Talk tag. I saw Serenity Landon's video first of all, and then I wanted to go back to the source. I'd seen quite a few people doing this. At first I didn't realise it was a tag, and then I found out it is by Books with Alyssa J. So I watched her video as well, and it's got the questions here, so I thought I'd kind of just improvise my answers. Usually when I do like a sit down talk through of a tag, I usually have like my basic outline of the answers that I want to say, but I thought I'm just gonna say what comes out of my mouth, you know. So the first question is, what's something nobody told you about Booktube before you started your channel? I don't really know. I kind of just went with the flow of it, so I don't really have anything too intense to say. Before I started doing proper Booktube videos, I was already doing YouTube anyway. It was more casual than that, and then it sort of drifted into mainly Booktube. I guess I'm going to steal the same answer that Alyssa herself said, and that would be the editing. I feel like out of everything, in terms of, because obviously you guys will know that my Booktube channel isn't just Booktube. I do anything that I feel like doing on here. So I feel like out of all the videos that I do, a lot of the more difficult, longer, time consuming videos to edit is the Booktube ones. I enjoy editing anyway, so it doesn't really bother me too much at all. Sometimes my eyes can get like achy, I can get a migraine from staring at the screen for too long, but generally I quite like editing. But I guess, yeah, that'd be something nobody told me. I never really had a conversation with anyone about starting anyway, so nobody really would tell me. But yeah, there's that. Number 2 is, what is your opinion on typical Booktube videos, wrap-ups, TBRs, hauls, etc. I love them. I probably stay away from hauls typically. Like, I don't go searching for them as I would for like wrap-ups and TBRs and stuff, just because I try to make a conscious effort not to buy as many books as I do, at least not to buy so many without reading in my head a good amount to justify it, or without reading them too soon, because a lot of the time I buy lots of books and they sit there waiting to be read for quite a few while, so they get quite backlisted. But generally I do like those sort of things. I am adoring the newer content coming out, like people, like what I do myself sometimes, where I merge like makeup or other hobbies with books. I love the reading vlogs. A lot of people are doing those now. I think I first saw Riley Marie kind of do those, and then I saw them like in more abundance, I guess. But yeah, I adore the typical traditional sort of stuff. I don't think they'd ever really get old. I know a lot of people stopped doing like monthly wrap-ups and did it every time they read like a handful of books or whatever, just because they didn't like that pressure, I guess, of feeling like they had to read a certain amount of books per month. So I can understand that, but generally I do enjoy these videos and I still do those. I don't really do TBRs too much, to be fair. Number 3, what is your assumption you had about Booktube before you joined? Was it proven to be correct or not? So I guess an assumption that, if I really had to think about it, would probably be that I thought that you would have to read a lot of books. You don't, but I just feel like by having a Booktube channel, for a lot of people, you kind of naturally get this self-made pressure of feeling like you can't talk about books if you haven't read a certain amount. For me personally, I know that to be true. I feel like I couldn't do like a recommended video because I feel like I haven't read enough books yet, but that's always the case. I always want to read more and more and more, so those sort of videos end up getting pushed off until I'm not interested in doing it any longer. Or I feel sometimes if I haven't read enough books per month, then there's no point in talking about a wrap-up, because I'm being outshined by someone who's read a load of books. It's just really silly, like psychological stuff. I don't think it's true at all. It wasn't correct. It's just like your own mind kind of playing tricks on you. You are not any less of a reader. I think she might have said this as well, actually. You're not any less of a reader if you don't have like the biggest bookshelves, if you don't have the amount of books read like in a crazy numbers. Like, you're not any less of a reader. You're not any less valid on being on here. So yeah, that was not a true assumption at all, although sometimes I still struggle with those thoughts. So number 4 is, what is something you've done that has actually helped you grow your audience? I don't really know. To be honest, I don't really do things to grow my audience, but I probably would say the thing that I maybe noticed the most engagement in is when me and Stephen from Alf Books did our Old Kingdom tag. We made an original tag focusing on Garth Nix's The Old Kingdom series, because he was at that moment releasing Golden Hand, which was his latest book in the series, and we thought it'd be fun to just team together, and because we both love Garth Nix, we thought it'd be fun to team together and create an original tag. So I feel like from that, because of the way we edited it, people that didn't know about either of us on each of our channels found a new person, like a new channel to maybe watch and subscribe. I didn't look at it too deep in terms of, oh, have my subscribers gone up, have my views gone up, but I feel like that would probably be one of the most things that have helped me in a way to get out there a little bit. But I don't know, I've always said that YouTube in general was just a hobby for me. If I get like some nice views, or I get friends, mostly friends, that's all I really care about, and subscribers or whatever, I guess, then that's like a perk, an added bonus. Because to be honest, at the end of the day, I'm just chatting to my camera, getting all these thoughts and feelings, because I either probably bore my real life friends and family to death with saying all this stuff, and maybe I don't have people that are into the same stuff as me, so it's nice to just talk to a camera, and if someone so happens to watch, then that's even better. Okay, number 5 is, what is a common mistake you see new booktubers making, or one that you made? I'm going to say sub for sub. I've got a whole video, if you want to watch that I will link that for you, talking about why sub for sub in my opinion just doesn't work. The basics of that is it's annoying, you don't get like true engagement, and go and watch that video if you want to know more about it. I don't want to think about it because it gets me quite annoyed. If it works for you, fine, that's your prerogative, that's your life, whatever, but I feel like that's like the biggest mistake, I personally. Number 6, what are your thoughts on working with publishers and sponsorships? I think it's amazing as long as your thoughts and feelings stay your own, 100% your own, you're not being swayed in whatever, you know, whether you like it or not, then do what you need to do, get your money, that's perfectly fine. Like, a lot of people do want to be YouTube to be their job, so you know, make it your job however you can, as long as you're staying honest to the people that watch you, because at the end of the day that's what they care about. They're not going to want to subscribe to you, they're not going to want to watch you if they feel like they can't trust you. Because I know personally for me, I watch a lot of people, sometimes this is the case, most of the time I'd say, even if I'm not particularly interested in some of their videos, I tend to watch because I like their personality. I mean, there are some videos that I just won't watch because I just don't enjoy it regardless of the personality. That's not the sort of content that I watch. But a lot of the people do it because it's like you have the qualities that they would see in a friend. So if you feel like you can't trust your friend, then you're not gonna be doing very well in life generally, are you? So yeah, I mean, I think publishers working with people are awesome, sponsorships are awesome, just don't abuse that trust. Number 7, do you think booktube is dying? Absolutely not. I am loving the new wave. I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but like these younger people coming into the booktube community, stirring it up a little bit with some of their more discussion based topics, which I absolutely love. I get a bit scared and a little bit anxious actually watching some of those videos, so I have to be in the mood and then I can be like, yeah, this is a great debate. But other than that, I'm like, oh my god, anything to do with like strong opinions, I just get generally nervous. But I love that that's what they're doing, they're shaking it up a little bit. I'm not keen on throwing drama into an otherwise very peaceful community, but I like that they're, you know, putting different ideas out there. So I don't think it's dying at all. There's constantly new people creating booktube channels daily, I feel like. So yeah. Number 8 is tag your friends. I'll probably reach out to some of you guys on Twitter to let you know that I've tagged you, but I feel like I don't talk to people as much as I would like to, or perhaps that I've used to in the past. So I'm gonna go out of my comfort zone and tag you guys. So I will tag Alf Books. I know that he only does videos once a month now, so he might not do it, or he might be able to incorporate it in one of his other videos that he's planned out perhaps. I'm gonna tag Hannah from, I feel like these are the core people that I used to tag back in the day. I'm gonna tag Hannah from Craven Books, who recently has started making videos again. She's awesome. She does more like bizarre sort of horror grotesque fiction in terms of the books that she usually reads and reviews, so if you're into that, check her out. Who else will I tag? Aoife from Fred Weasley Died Laughing. I do enjoy her content. She reads a lot of different books. And who else? I feel like the other people that I would want to tag have already done it. So those are the 3 that I can think of off the top of my head, and yeah, anybody else who wants to do it, of course, I'd love to hear your answers. So if you do it, please leave your links in the comments below so I can watch them. And yeah, I just really wanted to do a tag in this vlog, so there we go. So the first scene of, oh hold on, I've got I need to mute this. So the first scene of chapter 7 literally has what I can assume to be a spoiler for Harry Potter and the Order of Phoenix. Not everybody has read Harry Potter yet. This is one thing that I really dislike that authors do, and they're so specific and graphic about another book. And I'm thinking, not everybody has read all the books in the world. I know Harry Potter is really popular. I'm just undergoing reading them for the first time. I'm not at that yet. It's just annoying when it's unnecessary. You don't need to describe it to such an extent. Think of the people that haven't read it and want to, you know what I mean? Maybe they think, oh, by this point everyone should have read it, but it's not the case. Good morning. So of course I've started my day with some reading. Hopefully I can get the majority of this read today and hopefully finish off the last little bit tomorrow maybe. But I've just read chapter 12, which was kind of the introduction into, what they call it, I just literally looked at what it was called. I can't remember. Mary King's Close. I keep wanting to say King Mary's Close, but that doesn't make sense. And I can't believe they're stuck in the veil. I've got to say, the concept of the veil and how it's been described and used in this story is so interesting. I find it really fascinating, the whole idea that it's literally a ghostly curtain she finds herself going into, or sometimes being dragged into, like in this case, and it's everything on the outside world it turns to the ghostly sounds. Like, you can only focus on what's in here, and the fact that she can't escape it is worrying. It's like a brick wall at the moment. I have a feeling that that raven in red person's gonna be there. Of course, something terrible is gonna happen, but I haven't heard any more about that girl with the braid that's clearly the one that's gonna teach her more about the veil and stuff like that. But it'd be nice if we had a little bit more about her, because I mean the book's fairly short and we're 123 pages into it so far, and we've not really had much encounters with her. I assume she might even pop into this veil and be able to get them out, or once they finally figure a way to get out, they might seek her help a little bit more readily and like be curious by her. I'm just hypothesizing at this point. Okay, so it's actually only just become clear to me that Cassie is moving in the veil. So when she was seeing these people in Mary King's Close, in like that maze thing, I don't know how to say it because they made an emphasis on the word close, so I don't know if it's close or close, or if I'm pronouncing it completely wrong. Anyway, she was actually walking through the maze. For some reason I thought in my head that the veil sort of shimmers and shows her a different scene, and that's how, like, I thought she was just standing still. I remember now when she was at that kirk, the graveside, her mum said her mum said she wandered off or whatever, so that should have sparked in my head, oh, she's actually moving through this, but seeing it back in the past. I just thought that she was standing still and having them like almost like visions flashing through her. I don't know, but yeah, she's just run out. She's found a piece of the veil that she can move like a curtain, and now she's sort of lost outside of this maze and everything. I think she's back, surface level by the sound of things. So yeah, that's interesting. In that case, is it like she's almost a sleepwalker, just walking? Because if she can't really register what's going on in the present day, when she's in the veil, people must be shouting at her. To be fair though, Jacob was shouting at her in the graveyard, but it would make sense that she's in the veil somewhat, because he knows about it, he's a ghost, all that sort of stuff. But if her mum was shouting at her, would she be able to drag her back and pull her through and say, hey, listen, do you know what I mean? But I don't know. Interesting. This is so funny. As soon as I'm asking these questions, the answers are coming clear. Guess who's there? Lara Jane Chowdhury. Is that how you pronounce it? Guess what they've just seen? Her disappear. So the veil is like a literal thing. Like, they actually disappear into it. No wonder why. It's like she gets lost and her parents would... Why her mum said she must have wandered off. She didn't see her wander off. She just wasn't there anymore. So they actually go into the veil and vanish to the naked eye. Interesting. Oh, okay. So it doesn't look like they're sleepwalking and wandering around, because that would draw a lot of attention. Perhaps a convenient way out, but makes sense, to be honest. It does make sense. It's funny, I was just thinking Jacob is kind of like a guardian angel ghost, but then I was a bit confused when he was keeping all that stuff from Cassidy after hearing about it from Lara, about ghost hunting and all that. But yeah, he's kind of like a guardian angel ghost. And now Findlay, the tour guide, who I really like at the moment, yeah, it's quite nice, he's literally just said he's like your guardian angel ghost, and I'm like, he really is. So cute. decided to do a quick change. It's so lovely outside, so whilst I read for a little bit longer in my garden, I put some sunscreen on as well because it felt really warm. You know that prickling feeling when you think, I should probably like have some skin protection on. But yeah, whilst I read some more outside in my garden, I'm going to put this camera on charge for a while, I think. So Cassidy has gone in with Lara for the first time for like a little teaching session. She's still a bit nervous at what she might have to do in terms of sending the ghosts on. Jacob's with her, which is sweet, but it's all a bit awkward, isn't it? But I like that she's taken it upon herself to hear the story so far of the first ghost that she's met with Lara in this teaching zone of the Vale, I guess you could say. I think it's all going to piece together to this Red Raven person. Obviously, they haven't really mentioned her too much, but she's there, sort of literally haunting the underlining of the story. And I feel like if she takes the time to listen to these ghosts before banishing them or whatever she has to do, or whatever Lara does, it'll piece together the story of finding out who this woman is and perhaps stopping her. I don't know if it's going to be done like, if it does go like that, I don't know if it's going to be finished for this story or if it will bleed into the next story, which I imagine it will do. But yeah, I'm liking it much more, definitely. I've really got into it, and it's really easy to read as well. Nice pace going about as well. I feel like I get so much read in just a short amount of time. Oh, that scene was so intense. Her life has been stolen. That whole trap with Jacob getting dragged into the Vale and then the Raven in Red getting her life and everything, that was so intense. But I do wonder if she is now, as Jacob puts it, temporarily without a life, is that what you called it, then where's her body? Because I mean, like, she's technically died, but she kind of hasn't. Well, yeah, because she's had her life stolen from her, but like, is she now an actual spirit coming out? Is her body just crumpled on the floor, or is she moving within that body? That's confusing. Again, like most of the stuff, I've had my answers pretty much straight away, so I hope that's the case for this one. It's not like a big issue in my head, it's just something that I was like, this could be a plot hole. Because then, like, I know with the case of the previous missing children that got lured by this Raven in Red, I always say her name wrong, I think it's Raven in Red, they've just disappeared because they've gone through, I assume, the Vale. She's lured them through and taken their life there, so I assume their body or whatever would be there, and so because the regular eye can't see it, they can't see the body. So I can't remember where I was going with this strand of thought. But is that what it is? Like, she's literally just lost her body, is just on the floor chilling, and will she have to go back for it? Like, okay, maybe it is more of a bigger deal than I initially thought. I'm gonna keep thinking about that, I feel. You know when you read something that feels like it should be a passing comment, but you know it's obviously going to be brought back later? I'm very sceptical in that sense, and I just feel like if it was a normal everyday scenario, yeah, that could be a passing comment. But in a book, I like to think I hold on to things and I think, that could crop up later. And it did. So obviously when the first guy that Cass sees in the Vale when she's with Lara, and he's like, says, if he sees my boy, please send him home. Well, I knew that was going to come back, and I had a feeling that this boy guarding what's it called? Greyfriars? Yeah, Greyfriars, stopping them from coming in and getting her life back from the Raven in Red. I knew he was going to be that boy, the way she described him and said he looks like he's from a different time. I was like, I bet that's the kid. And then she mentions, yeah, she's seen him before in an old yellowed photograph, and it's so sad. I'm just about to read the part where I've sort of skimmed it, like, just to see quickly what happens, but literally like the first couple of lines, to see if she tries to send him to Peace, but he has nothing in his chest. But that makes sense because the Raven person would have taken that and eaten it, so can he never be sent on? That's so sad. If that's the case, that's really sad. Wow. It's going up to 7:30 now. I'm nearing page 250. I've just had my dinner. I'm re-energized. Let's get this book finished. I knew I'd fall into the trap of watching YouTube videos and, you know, kind of getting closer and closer to the end, but not enough for me to then tackle it at like 9 o'clock when I'm tired. But I've not got long left at all, so I think I'm just going to do a home run now, is that what the term's called, and get this finished tonight, which will be nice. So that means tomorrow, on Mothering Sunday, I can relax a bit more with my mum and my family and that, and not have to worry about, oh, I'm out of focus, sorry camera, did you not like that? Not have to worry about finishing this, just having to worry about editing my monthly vlog wrap up later on in the evening, so it can go up on the 1st. But yeah, let's get this finished. Oh, good old Findlay. I knew he was a good egg. I was sad not to see him in later books because I assume they're gonna, you know, go across the world. So bye Findlay, he's been a good one. I wonder why the raven didn't turn and go for Lara as well, because then she's got like a whole life there, right? I mean, that would have made sense. But anyway, it looks like she has been frozen. Yay! Let me read on properly to see what's actually happening. I can't help but think that they didn't actually say the full spell to get rid of the raven. But she seems to be gone. And I really hope they give, well, it doesn't look like they're going to give us much of a background to what her parents are going to say to her when she comes back, the aftermath with the sirens and the police and everything coming into the fact that there's an open grave there. I'll be annoyed if they don't at least give us some insight into what happens in the aftermath, but I'll be very, very annoyed if it skips ahead too far into the future and we just completely ignore the real life matters, you know. I have just finished. I really did enjoy this overall. I think I'll give it like a 3.5 stars. I will definitely continue on with the next book in the series. I'm not too sure how many books are anticipated for this, but I'll definitely pick them up. I would like to say that I'll probably get the rest from the library, but I actually feel like I'm going to want to collect this author's book, so I'll probably actually buy the books in paperback for the rest of this series at least, so they're all like matching and neat. So yeah, I really did enjoy this. I really hope you've enjoyed this vlog. I'm so happy I finally read a Victoria Schwab book, and I'm actually quite happy that I started off with this one. It was a nice toe dip into her generalised way that she writes, and hopefully this will give me the confidence and the push to read some of her more adult novels. But yeah, really did enjoy this. Thank you for joining me on this vlog. Let me know your thoughts having read it yourself, what you thought about the book, and perhaps what book of hers that I should read next. Anyway, I shall speak to you in another video soon. Bye!